Hi there. I am the Indigo Goddess. Most people know me as Fatimah-Logic, aka the Goddess. That's T-H-A, not T-H-E, okay? For those of you who did not know. So, I'm doing a live Fatimah-Logic radio session because I'm going to talk about some things that is going to stir up a whole lot of emotions, a whole lot of feelings, a whole lot of thoughts, a whole lot of confusion even. But I'm not here to start or bring confusion. What I'm here to do is bring clarity. Not start confusion, but bring clarity. And sometimes that means you have to shake it up a little bit. So, today's topic is going to be on me and how who I am has a direct impact on what is going on in the world right now. But I'm not going to get into detail because there are so many factions and entities and peoples and minions and messengers and all of those things who watch me so that they can, kind of try and stop me from saying the things that I am supposed to say, because as a siren, as a trumpet, as a bringer of the light, the darkness doesn't want that, so they try to stop me. So I'm not going to speak normal, I'm going to speak in code. That way I can't get shut down or somehow interfered with or interrupted, right? So it's going to be your responsibility to, right? Because I got to be very wise and clever so that way you can actually know what's going on and what to do. If you are supposed to. Not everybody is supposed to hear it, I guess. Not everybody's supposed to make it. Only an elect few. So those of you who are fortunate enough to actually get it when I'm talking and when I'm speaking, you're so blessed. You're so lucky. Some people call it lucky. It's not a luck thing. It's just, it's natural selection, I guess, because he and she who have ears to hear will hear. So, here is clue number 1. I call myself the Indigo Goddess for multiple reasons. The number 1 reason, though, is because, believe it or not, I really am. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to shake the camera, my bad. But I really am an Indigo Goddess. So if you don't know this is something really simple, right? The colors red plus blue makes indigo or purple. Purple is the color of the crown chakra. And the crown chakra represents royalty, or purple represents royalty, right? So not only is that significant, I never knew why my favorite color was purple, but I used to say that all the time, and I still do. But my birth name is Violet. And a violet is a purple flower. And believe it or not, Eolanth is another word for Yolanda. Well, Yolanda, right, is also Eolanth in Latin or Spanish. And Eolanth means purple flower. Interesting. I used to play in a field of violets all the time when I was a little girl. Never knew what any of that meant, any significance of, those things meant. But like I said, purple is the color of the crown chakra, and we all know that crown means royalty, right? Not only that, here's another interesting fun fact tidbit. Purple comes from Phoenicians. Phoenicians were the first main civilization who introduced sound and letters. they also were the first navigators and merchants. And I believe that the Phoenicians came from another planet called Venus. And Venus is also called the red planet, interestingly. And then Mars is also red, I believe, interestingly, right? And Venus is supposedly the sister or the wife of Mars, but the truth is Venus is actually the sister wife of Mercury. Mercury is the first planet that's closest to the sun. And of course, that means it's hot, right? Not only is it really, really hot, but it actually melts metal. So metal is one of the elements. Let me make sure I correct that really quickly for you. Venus actually is the sister, consort, wife of all of the planets. That way it doesn't confuse you, because all of the other planets in our solar system are masculine or male planets, male dominating planets, but Venus is the only female, the only sister, the first wife, the first virgin. That's where that whole thing comes from, believe it or not. And I'll be talking about all of that in my series that will be coming out soon, that I'll be narrating. I have a series coming out called Story Time by Fatimah-Logic, the Indigo Goddess. And I hope that you become one of the people in my audience, because I am actually going to be literally telling the real story, or a better version of the real story. And what do I mean by the real story? Well, so we have been raised and taught, if you live in the same generation that I'm from, or the same time that I'm from, which is the current era, right? The CE on the timeline, you had BC or BCE, right? AD and CE. BC means before the current era. BC means before Christ. I'm sorry, y'all. And AD means after the death of Christ, right? But they never say that. But basically, AD means starting with 0 and up to where we are today, which is considered the current era, CE. So when you hear me talking, I'll be using those terms a lot, just so you'll know. So I don't want to say too much too soon, because I want to save that for, the other platform. So if you are listening to this and you're curious to know more, please go and subscribe to Fatimah-Logic TV. That's on YouTube. It's also on Vimeo, and also Fatimah-Logic Radio. So Fatimah-Logic Radio, but there's a little hyphen between Fatimah and Logic, right? So the same with Fatimah-Logic TV. As a matter of fact, it's Fatimah, the little line, hyphen Logic TV, right? But between those two platforms, and also my Instagram, Fatimah_Logic_radio on Instagram, I'll be popping little tidbits in there. I'll be probably doing like channelings and things, so that way you can kind of grow with. As I was saying, you can grow with me, because I am going to have a great revealing. And in that great revealing, it's going to basically be the start of the real start and beginning of the new era, which is the golden era, which is my era, my time. You might not believe this, because especially if you know me personally, you might be like, Fatimah, you, right? But have you ever seen the movie Jupiter's Ascending? If you haven't seen that movie, I urge you to go watch it, because it will help you understand and understand and even overstand what I'm talking about when I'm talking. As a matter of fact, there are going to be certain movies that I'll be sharing with you guys as I'm talking that I urge you to go and watch, because it'll help make things make sense, because they tell the story, my story, in the form of movies, folklore, fairy tales, all of that. Now, because of who I am, I have to be very, very careful at the same time, which is why I'm not going to be saying too much, because I don't want to trigger anything that could stop me from sharing with you guys publicly. Again, I'm not going to be talking too much publicly when it comes to the juicy details, right? In fact, believe it or not, if I can have somebody connect me to, like, someone who has the finances to basically turn me into a franchise like Harry Potter, oh my gosh, you guys, you would be in for such a treat, because I really am a franchise. My story is a franchise. Harry Potter, they didn't know about Harry Potter until Harry Potter became worldwide known by being pushed out there in books and stories and movies and things like that. I'm that. Trust me, you don't believe me now, but watch. All I need is 1 to 4 investors. 1 to 4 investors. I don't want more than 4, because it just gets complicated after that, and I need to be involved in everything. So all I need is 1 to 4 investors who is ready to take this $1 billion baby right here and make 100 billion. Because I don't know how much Harry Potter made, but I'm sure I'll probably either get to that level or higher even. That's just how real it is. And there's a lot of people who didn't want me to tell my story, who tried to stop me, who tried to take me out of my character, who had been charged to attack me, to keep me distracted, to do things to take me off of my path, because I was supposed to be doing this. They did not succeed, as you can see, and now it's time to go to the next level. So follow me. Let's go.